Girls can do anything they want, you know? They can be down just like you can.
You know, knowing the attitude and how so much I'm representing where I'm from.
In the realm of criminal organizations, women have made their mark, proving that crime knows no gender boundaries. From street gangs to organized crime syndicates,
a tough new law goes into effect. The notorious 18th Street Gang will not be allowed to appear together in public.
These female-led groups have carved out a fearsome reputation. Join us as we look into the intriguing world of the 5 most notorious female gangs. What drives these women to embrace a life of crime? How have they defied societal expectations and risen to power? Get ready to uncover the captivating stories of these women who have left an indelible imprint on the underworld. MS-13. In the 1980s, a gang emerged in Los Angeles that would go on to gain infamy for its involvement in drug and human smuggling, prostitution, murder, and extortion. Founded by immigrants from El Salvador, it became known as Mara Salvatrucha, or MS-13. Although the gang is dominated by men, several women also serve in positions of authority, wielding significant power and influence. Since its inception, this ruthless gang has spread throughout the United States, Central America, and Canada, leaving a trail of extreme violence in its wake. Where did this all start? Well, the origins of MS-13 can be traced back to the El Salvador conflict of the 1970s, a time when the country was on the brink of a civil war. The conflict pitted government forces against the insurgent group Farabundo Martí National Liberation Front, which claimed to represent marginalized Salvadorans. The war displaced around 900,000 people, many of whom sought refuge in the United States, particularly in Hispanic communities of southern Los Angeles. Faced with the threat of victimization by powerful Mexican gangs that already dominated these areas, former Farabundo Martí National Liberation Front members and other refugees banded together in the early 1980s to form Mara Salvatrucha. The name, according to some sources, was derived from the slang terms Mara, meaning gang, and Salvatruchas, referring to street-tough Salvadorans. Despite facing challenges from rival gangs, Mara Salvatrucha steadily grew its membership, recruiting immigrants who had fled unrest in Guatemala and Nicaragua. In the early 1990s, the gang formed an alliance with the Mexican Mafia, a powerful gang based in Los Angeles. It was during this time that Mara Salvatrucha adopted the moniker Miss 13, with M being the 13th letter of the alphabet. Over the years, MS-13 evolved into one of the most powerful and loosely structured gangs in the Northern Hemisphere, notorious for its brutality. Its motto, kill, RIP, and control, reflected the gang's ruthless nature. By the early 21st century, MS-13 had expanded its reach, operating in nearly every U.S. state, the District of Columbia, and several Central American countries, particularly El Salvador. As time passed, the gang started recruiting female members, who turned out to be as ruthless and deadly as the men themselves. Let's talk about one woman that stood out. Her name is Flas. Flas's journey into the MS-13 was filled with challenges and a relentless pursuit for acceptance in a male-dominated gang. At the age of 13, Flas joined the MS-13 for 2 main reasons. First, she sought the sense of camaraderie and excitement known as el vacil that gang members shared through activities like smoking marijuana, listening to music, and engaging in occasional fights. Second, she sought revenge for the abuse her stepfather inflicted on her mother, leaving her to care for her 2 younger brothers. Despite the inherent misogyny and control over women's bodies within the gang, Flas chose to dedicate herself to its laws, enduring abuse and violence until she reached her breaking point. Flas was no stranger to hardship. She considered herself a tough woman capable of enduring anything: labor, marginalization, domestic violence, hunger, and heartbreak. She even withstood the floggings inflicted upon her during her initiation into the gang as a teenager. She made a conscious decision to withstand the beatings rather than undergo the trenchito, a form of initiation exclusively for women that involved being sexually violated by multiple gang members. In her quest to fit in, Flaka adopted a tough and unwavering persona that the gang demanded. She emulated the walk, dress, and speech of the guys in her neighborhood, striving for a balance between blending in and retaining her femininity. The homeboys preferred that the homegirls didn't appear too masculine, wanting them to fulfill the same role as men without looking overly manly. The MS-13 provided a refuge where she could retaliate against the world, not just her stepfather. She learned and adhered to the MS-13 street rules, including representing the gang at all times, territorial control, and targeting enemies referred to as chavalas. A key rule was maintaining absolute silence about gang activities, which Flaka internalized and still adheres to, even when discussing her past experiences. Flaka was promised equal treatment as men upon joining the gang, with the rhetoric proclaiming that homegirls would be defended if someone crossed a line. She was prepared to pull the trigger alongside any man if instructed to do so. She grew up with the gang's teachings, which dictated that she must know her place, and that disobedience would be met with force to instill respect. One time, Flaka shared an unsettling experience where a high-ranking leader in the MS-13 developed an obsession with smelling her hair. When he discovered that she had lost her virginity, he distanced himself from her. Earning respect within the gang was already challenging, but for women, it posed additional hurdles. Leadership and hierarchy within the MS-13 were established through violence and respect. Yet, for women, gaining respect was an even more intricate and complex process. The struggle for recognition and equality persisted throughout Flaka's journey within the gang. Las Flakas. In the heart of a bustling metropolis, where secrets whispered in the night, a legendary sisterhood emerged, a sisterhood known as Las Flakas. Their name, meaning the skinny ones in Spanish, belied their true power and resilience. This captivating all-female gang defied stereotypes and shattered expectations, leaving an indelible mark on the city's history. The story of Las Flakas begins with a trio of women, Sofia, Valentina, and Carmen, whose paths converged in a whirlwind of fate. Bound by shared struggles and a desire for empowerment, they banded together to form an unbreakable sisterhood. United by their shared experiences of injustice and inequality, they vowed to protect and uplift one another against a world that sought to diminish their worth. Las Flakas quickly established themselves as a formidable force within the city's underworld. Their audacious acts of rebellion against oppressive forces struck fear into the hearts of those who sought to control them. Armed with street smarts, razor-sharp intellects, and an unwavering determination, they shattered societal norms and challenged the status quo. Behind their fierce exterior, Las Flakas were more than just a gang. They were a sisterhood. They nurtured each other's dreams, celebrated victories, and provided solace in times of despair. Their shared experiences forged unbreakable bonds, transcending the boundaries of blood. Each member brought unique skills to the table, from Sofia's razor-sharp strategy to Valentina's unmatched charisma and Carmen's mastery of disguise. As Las Flakas continued to outwit and outmaneuver their adversaries, law enforcement agencies were left scrambling in their wake. The media dubbed them the Muses of Mischief, as their daring exploits captivated the public's imagination. The city became enthralled with their enigmatic presence, torn between admiration and fear. Every legend has its end, and the same holds true for Las Flakas. Their reign as the city's most notorious female gang came to a bittersweet conclusion. Some members retired to quieter lives, while others continued their fight for justice in different arenas. But their legacy endured, inspiring a new generation of fearless women who refused to be silenced. The gang had loose connections with the all-male Elephant and Castle mob, forming partnerships for mutual benefit. During the early 1900s to 1920s, a time marked by the Industrial Revolution, working-class women faced limited choices: marriage, low-paying labor, or both. Wealthy women, on the other hand, enjoyed lives of luxury and leisure. The 40 thieves decided to exploit their status as women and posed as wealthy shoppers, becoming skilled thieves. Under the leadership of Alice Diamond, also known as Diamond Annie, the gang transformed from small-time thieves to a large-scale operation. Alice enforced strict rules, such as no drinking on the job and maintaining exclusivity within the gang. She also orchestrated simultaneous heists across the West End, leaving the police in a frenzy. Their ability to conceal stolen goods under their voluminous clothing, resembling elephants leaving a shop with hidden treasures. They developed innovative tactics not commonly used by male thieves of the time. These women created false arms hidden under fake ones, allowing them to pilfer items from shelves unnoticed. They also sewed custom pockets and compartments into their clothing to stash stolen goods securely. Alice ensured that the gang members never wore the stolen items, immediately fencing them and using the profits to purchase high-end fashion, so they could keep posing as women of status. As the gang's notoriety grew, retailers became aware of their presence. So, to continue their operations, the 40 Elephants resorted to cross-dressing as wealthy couples while shopping. They would create diversions to steal purses and fur coats, and their reputation led to more innovative tactics. During jewelry counter rushes, gang members would confuse clerks by passing around items, making it difficult to track the stolen goods. They would also use chewing gum to stick jewelry to the bottom of counters for later retrieval. Precise replicas of expensive pieces were made, allowing them to switch the fake for the real item unnoticed. As Alice Diamond's face appeared in newspapers, the gang utilized her notoriety to their advantage. While she was closely watched by staff, unknown or new gang members would carry out thefts. They even infiltrated posh residences as maids, robbing the families they worked for. In a surprising turn, they sometimes stole from their own clients, the fences who bought their stolen goods. Alice's violent and strict leadership style eventually led to a decline in the gang's activities. One member, Marie Britton, fell in love and married against Alice's wishes, resulting in a violent attack on Marie's husband. This incident, known as the Lambeth Riot, led to the sentencing of many gang members. Lillian Rose Kendall, known as the Bob-Haired Bandit, assumed leadership of the 40 Elephants after Alice's imprisonment. The gang shifted their focus to smash and grab robberies, driving cars into shop windows at night and escaping with stolen goods, leaving the shopkeepers to deal with the aftermath. As World War II engulfed London and societal changes occurred, the gang's activities dwindled. Some members were arrested, others moved away, and some found legitimate jobs as men were drafted into the war. After Alice Diamond's release from prison, she ran a brothel until her death in 1952. The 40 Elephants made use of class and gender stereotypes to their advantage, exploiting the patriarchal system that oppressed them. Though their actions were unlawful and caused chaos, they made significant strides for women in their own way. Every empire faces its reckoning, and the 40 Elephants were no exception. Their reign as London's most notorious crime syndicate eventually crumbled under the pressure of law enforcement and rival gangs. To keep their history alive, a major film production team acquired the rights to their captivating story, indicating a potential cinematic adaptation that may rival the popularity of the male-focused Peaky Blinders series. The Pink Panthers. They are not the elusive feline characters from the animated series, but a real-life network of jewel thieves that have captivated the world with their audacious heists. The Pink Panthers emerged in the early 2000s, hailing primarily from the Balkans and Eastern Europe. Their name was inspired by the famous Pink Panther film series, known for its bumbling detective and iconic animated panther. The choice of name reflects their cunning, as they too have managed to elude law enforcement with their strategic planning and execution. The Pink Panthers gained international notoriety through their high-profile heists, targeting luxury jewelry stores and high-end watch retailers. Their exploits have spanned continents, with successful heists reported in Europe, Asia, the United States, and the Middle East. Their ability to strike swiftly and disappear without a trace has left authorities bewildered and made them the stuff of legend. The Pink Panthers are known for their meticulous planning and precise execution. They employ a variety of strategies, ranging from smash-and-grab robberies to sophisticated tunneling and disguise techniques. These criminals have shown a penchant for audacity, often striking in broad daylight or during high-profile events, taking advantage of distractions and overwhelmed security. A hallmark of the Pink Panthers' operations is their ability to execute seamless getaways. They are known for their lightning-fast escapes, using a combination of vehicles, motorcycles, or even public transportation to vanish into the urban landscape. Their agility and adaptability have made them a formidable force in the world of organized crime. The Pink Panthers' heists have resulted in the theft of millions of dollars worth of precious jewels and watches. While some stolen items have been recovered, many remain missing, and it's all thanks to the group's ability to quickly disperse stolen goods globally, which has made it challenging for authorities to track and recover the loot. Law enforcement agencies worldwide have been working diligently to dismantle the Pink Panthers. International cooperation, including Interpol and Europol, have also been instrumental in sharing information and coordinating efforts to apprehend members of the group. While arrests have been made, the Pink Panthers continue to operate, constantly adapting their methods to stay one step ahead. 18th Street Gang. The 18th Street Gang, also known as 18th Street Kale 18 or Mara 18, is a transnational criminal organization that originated in Los Angeles, California. The presence of female gang membership dates back to the early 19th century. The 18th Street Gang was formed in the 1960s by Mexican-American youth in the Pico Union neighborhood of Los Angeles. Originally, it was a street gang composed mainly of Mexican immigrants and Mexican Americans. Over time, the gang expanded its membership to include individuals from other Central American countries, such as El Salvador, Guatemala, and Honduras. The 18th Street Gang is involved in various criminal activities, including drug trafficking, extortion, robbery, human trafficking, and other forms of organized crime. They often engage in territorial disputes and conflicts with rival gangs, such as the Mara Salvatrucha, popularly known as the MS-13, with whom they have a long-standing rivalry. The 18th Street Gang operates with a hierarchical structure that includes leaders, shot callers, and lower-ranking members. The gang is also known for its large membership, which has allowed it to establish a significant presence in various cities across the United States, as well as in other countries such as Mexico and several Central American nations. The 18th Street Gang is considered a transnational criminal organization due to its presence in multiple countries. The gang's influence extends beyond the United States, with a strong presence in Central America, particularly in El Salvador, where it has been involved in significant criminal activities and has contributed to the country's high levels of violence. Law enforcement agencies have targeted the 18th Street Gang through various initiatives and operations aimed at disrupting their criminal activities. These efforts include increased collaboration between U.S. and Central American law enforcement agencies, as well as targeted investigations and prosecutions. The presence of the 18th Street Gang has had a significant impact on the communities where it operates. Gang violence, including territorial disputes and clashes with rival gangs, has led to high levels of crime and insecurity in affected areas, particularly in neighborhoods with a strong gang presence. The Women for Aryan Unity. This is a white supremacist group that stands out for being one of the few female-only organizations of its kind in recent decades. Established in 1990, Women for Aryan Unity aims to promote and support women within the white supremacist movement, often from a traditionalist perspective. Their newsletters and websites focus on issues they perceive as women's, such as motherhood and raising children. One notable aspect of Women for Aryan Unity activities is their support for white supremacist inmates, particularly those they consider prisoners of war. These are individuals whose crimes were linked to their white supremacist ideology. The group has been particularly involved with members of the Order, also known as Brüder Schweigen, a violent white supremacist terrorist group from the 1980s. Women for Aryan Unity provides an outlet for their writings and has even initiated an Adopt a Brüder campaign to raise funds for incarcerated Order members. The logo of Women for Aryan Unity features a diamond shape with stylized letters spelling out "Wow." Inside the diamond, 2 red stripes and 1 white stripe are displayed, reminiscent of the color scheme used in the Nazi flag. Additionally, many Women for Aryan Unity members embrace racist interpretations of modern Norse paganism, incorporating various Norse pagan symbols into their beliefs and activities. While initially established in the United States, Women for Aryan Unity has expanded its reach beyond national borders, establishing chapters in several countries, including Australia, Argentina, Italy, and Spain. The Hells Bells, known as the only independent backpatch women's motorcycle club in the UK, they bring a touch of witchcraft to the motorcycle culture while maintaining a prestigious reputation. The story of Hells Bells began on a chilly Halloween Eve in 2010. A group of female friends attending a bike and rock night arrived in style in a white minibus. Known as the only independent backpatch women's motorcycle club in the UK, they bring a touch of witchcraft to the motorcycle culture while maintaining a prestigious reputation. The story of Hells Bells began on a chilly Halloween Eve in 2010. A group of female friends attending a bike and rock night arrived in style in a white minibus. When asked who they were, Louise, one of the members, spontaneously replied, "Hells Bells." This seemingly casual response sparked Louise's long-held dream, and the group decided to adopt the name. Since then, Hells Bells has grown from a small gathering into a coven of female motorcycle enthusiasts. As a black patch club, Hells Bells adheres to a structured hierarchy that includes positions such as president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and sergeant at arms. However, the hierarchy is not fixed, allowing any member to rise in ranks based on loyalty and commitment over time. One distinctive feature of Hells Bells is their backpatch, which features a witch riding a motorcycle. This imagery reflects the pagan beliefs of many founding members and is a recurring theme throughout the club. The club takes pride in its independence, having no affiliations with other motorcycle clubs. However, this autonomy has occasionally led to conflicts and challenges from other clubs. Over the years, the Hells Bells have expanded to multiple chapters across the country, making them a dynamic and active group. They participate in rallies, share knowledge and experiences, and organize regular meetings and social events. Their enthusiasm for partying is well known, with one member claiming that they outshine the men in that department. The group's clubhouse, known as the Cauldron, is located in the industrial area of Radcliffe, Manchester. Although initially discouraged by the state of the property, the members transformed it into a vibrant and creatively decorated space, reflecting their unique style. For those interested in joining Hells Bells, it is essential to meet the criteria of being a woman with a full UK motorcycle license. Membership is by invitation from existing members, but the club is always open to making new acquaintances. Interested individuals can visit the Cauldron or contact the club through their website to express their interest. Becoming a full-fledged member may take several years, but the journey is part of the experience. They challenge gender norms in the male-dominated motorcycle club world, emphasizing that passion for motorcycles knows no boundaries. Hells Bells is an enchanting and independent women's motorcycle club, injecting a touch of witchcraft into the motorcycle culture. With their unique backpatch, dynamic activities, and dedication to their craft, they continue to thrive in the motorcycle community, showcasing the power and resilience of women in pursuit of their passions. Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.